Hello, Baron. How are you doing today?
Hi Sylvia, I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. So, as you may seen, as you know, we are working on the social media app, and it's making a great progress. But recently, we've spotted some issues, so that we want to talk to you about it. So, sometimes we find it hard, to understand some of your ideas and documentation. It just seems confusing to some of our teammates, including me.
I don't. I guess I don't understand what you're so confused about. Um, you sent me some questions. I answered your questions. What what's the problem?
Yeah, for the questions, for the clarification, we didn't really get what you mean. Sometimes what you write, it's so short, and we don't get like what you mean by that. And also, sometimes I think some of your ideas might be wrong or flawed because I don't think it's really applicable to our social media app.
I mean, I would love for you to show me where my ideas are wrong. I mean, some of the questions you've been sending me, which first of all, you've been sending me way too many questions. There are a lot of things that these are questions you should already know the answers to. You're also computer engineers just like me, and these are things that you and your base knowledge of engineering should know. So, a lot of these questions are really just a waste of my time. So that if you're unhappy with those answers, you should probably do some extra research on those questions yourself.
I do apologize for those hundreds of questions. I admit that some of the questions that we probably shouldn't ask you because they're so basic and we should have done more research. However, I think because you're obviously really experienced and have a lots of working experience with this project, but some of us don't. For example, I'm just a first year computer engineer in this company, so there are a lot of questions that we do really want clarifications, especially from someone like you. And yes, so sometimes you get angry or
Angry? I get angry?
well, yes, sometimes, and I think some of our teammates starts to be afraid to ask you questions. I think it's really unhealthy to our project teams. So, yeah.
Well, your teammates should feel silly for asking those questions because they were frankly really dumb questions to ask. I mean, I know that I have a lot of knowledge here on this product, and I know that I'm really good at my job, maybe the best at it at this company. But that doesn't mean you can waste my time by asking these stupid questions. I don't think I'm becoming angry at all. I think I'm being totally realistic in my response here to you. I have a lot of things that I need to work on. I have a lot of other projects that aren't this project. I have a lot of deadlines to meet for my customers and for my bosses. And frankly, the questions I get from your team, yes, they anger me, but they anger me because of how dumb they are.
Okay. Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that. But I don't think this is like a who to blame issue. I think our common goal is just to make this app better, and I think it's really important that we have your support, and it's important to have this open communication channel between among teammates, so their questions can be answered. I'll definitely let them know and reflect on ourselves that what questions we should ask, but we also want you to be more cooperative with them and kind of tolerate us because we are kind of new to this company, and we do really appreciate your help and experience.
Well, I mean, I know that you really can't get your stuff done without my expertise, because there are lots of things that I think I just understand better than you and most other people. But those when you come to my office 100 times a day and you ask me questions that you can probably just go and Google yourself, it's just a whole waste of my time. I'm okay with giving you some answers on some things that are some of the more difficult topics, but it's just unacceptable for you to be wasting my time the way that you have been thus far. So something needs to change.
Yes, I agree something needs to change, and we'll do our best to give you more valuable questions to ask. And sometimes we have conflicted ideas, and we believe that some of your feedback and ideas might be flawed related to this app. So we also want to address that too. So we want
Flawed?
us to.
You think I have mistakes in my answers? I'm giving you bad information?
Well, they're not bad information. I just don't think they're incongruous with our projects. I mean, I know that the code is so long and we have so many data sets. Sometimes we can get lost in those data sets, and definitely it's not your fault, but we think that there is an issue that sometimes the advice you gave us isn't really applicable. So.
Well, if you don't think my advice is correct, I don't know why you're coming to me at all to answer your questions. I mean, I know my advice I'm giving you is correct. So, you're gonna need to show me where I'm wrong here, because honestly, I am almost positive that I'm not wrong, and I think that you're wrong in thinking that I'm wrong.
Oh, well, I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I think actually conflicted idea is good in terms of for the project, because conflicted ideas can give us more perspective of our project, and I think that's definitely good, but we don't want to bring it to a personal levels, because I think some of our teammates feel like that you are having an anger issue like personally, so they started to get afraid to approach you, and I think that's definitely not healthy. So I want to work out this issue with you, if that makes sense.
I mean, I think I'm only getting angry because of how frustrated I am about the amount of time that you're wasting of mine. I think I would be a little bit less frustrated if your questions were really well vetted beforehand. But until I see that, I'm really not going to be very happy. So there needs to be some improvement on part by your teams.
Yes, for sure. There will be improvements on our part. We also want some changes in your part. We'll gather questions. Maybe we'll ask ourselves twice for whether these questions are valuable. But we also want you to be more cooperative and just trying to answer those questions in like an effective way. We definitely respect your ideas a lot, and we definitely want your input to our project too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know you need my input. So as long as your team is willing to be more respectful of my time and all the projects that I have to do, and is doing a lot more of the research, especially into some of the really simple questions that I shouldn't be asked about, I'm willing to provide some more answers, as long as it's a valuable use of my time and helps further the things that I'm working on as well.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so do we agree that you'll be more helpful when our teammates ask you questions, and be more open to our ideas if we have different views?
I will try to be more helpful, but only if the questions are good questions.
Yeah, okay, sure. That makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you so much for talking with me today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have a nice weekend.
You too. Wait.